It's believed there are over 390,000 known plant species on this planet, with infinite others still undiscovered. Each one has evolved to thrive in its own unique environment, and some have developed survival tactics that are just brutal. We're not just talking about thorns or bad taste. These plants are armed with toxins, stingers, and chemicals that can be pretty bad for you. So, here are 15 plants you should never touch unless you're into pain, panic, or a trip to the ER. Let's start off with number 15, white baneberry. More creepily nicknamed doll's eyes. It is one of those plants that looks like it came straight out of a scary shoot. Native to North America, it grows just over a foot tall and produces ghost white berries with black dots that resemble human eyeballs. Birds can eat them without issue, but for humans they're a loaded gun. The entire plant is toxic, but the berries are the worst offenders. They contain potent cardiogenic toxins that slow the heart rate and reduce its strength. In small amounts, they can make you feel dizzy, disoriented, and incredibly weak. In larger doses, they can send your heart into cardiac arrest. There's no built-in bitterness or warning flavor, it just hits. Children are especially at risk because of how the berries look. It doesn't help that the plant grows in shady woodland areas where someone might stumble on it while hiking. If you see a plant with eyeball-like berries staring at you, turn around. That thing doesn't belong anywhere near a picnic trail. Number 14, monkshood. It looks like something you'd plant in a cottage garden, but monkshood is anything but innocent. Known by names like wolf's bane, devil's helmet, and blue rocket, this plant is native to cooler mountain regions across Asia, Europe, and North America. It's known for its deep green leaves and striking hood-shaped flowers in shades of purple, blue, and even white. But beneath that beauty is a plant loaded with aconitine, a toxin that attacks the nervous system fast and with brutal efficiency. Ingesting even a small amount can lead to nausea, vomiting, numbness in the face, and within hours, complete heart or respiratory failure. There's no antidote. If you get to a hospital quickly, doctors can try to flush it out of your system, but even then, it's a gamble. Touching it without gloves can cause symptoms too, especially if the skin is broken. This is not a plant you want to handle or grow unless you know exactly what you're dealing with. And even then, it's better admired from a distance. Number 13, deadly nightshade. Deadly nightshade doesn't need a dramatic name to prove a point, but it has one anyway. Native to Europe, North Africa, and parts of Asia, it's now found across the world thanks to curious collectors spreading its seeds. It's a close relative of tomatoes and potatoes, but don't let that comfort you. This plant can grow up to 7 feet tall with deep purple flowers and shiny berries that turn black when ripe. The berries look harmless and taste sweet, but that's the trap. Inside, the plant is laced with atropine and hyoscine, both potent alkaloids that attack the nervous system. Eat too much and you'll get blurred vision, hallucinations, confusion, and eventually respiratory failure or cardiac arrest. There's no reliable antidote. The danger lies in how subtle it starts and how quickly it escalates. Kids, pets, and foragers are most at risk, especially with the berries looking so edible. Deadly nightshade doesn't announce itself, it waits quietly, and that's what makes it so dangerous. Number 12, Gympie Gympie. If Australia had a mascot for botanical pain, it'd be the Gympie Gympie. Found in the rainforests of northeastern Australia, this innocent-looking plant is covered in tiny, almost invisible hairs that carry a vicious neurotoxin. Just brushing against it is enough to ruin your week or your year. The sting hits fast, starting with a sharp pain that spreads through the body and can last for hours. Some people have reported the pain returning months later, triggered by water, touch, or even a change in temperature. Inhaling airborne hairs is even worse. It can damage your throat and lungs, making it difficult to breathe and causing internal bleeding. There are accounts of horses dying after brushing against it, and soldiers describing the sting as worse than being shot. There's no real treatment, just time, painkillers, and the hope that your nerves eventually forget. It doesn't look like much, but if you ever see Gympie Gympie in the wild, keep walking and do not touch it. Number 11. Larkspur. Larkspur may sound poetic and look like something out of a romantic garden painting, but this plant is a nightmare waiting to happen. It includes around 40 species in the Consolida family and is often mistaken for its cousin, the delphinium. You'll find it all over the world, especially in mountainous areas where it thrives. Its colorful blooms, purple, blue, and pink, make it a popular ornamental choice. But the entire plant, from root to flower, is toxic. It's loaded with diterpene alkaloids that mess with the nervous system and cardiovascular function. Eating just a few grams can trigger nausea, skin irritation, paralysis, confusion, and in high enough doses, heart failure. It's not just humans at risk either. Larkspur is notorious for killing livestock, especially cattle, which may unknowingly graze on it in open pastures. Farmers have to time grazing seasons to avoid peak toxicity periods. It might be easy on the eyes, but don't let it fool you. Larkspur doesn't belong anywhere near your plate, your pets, or your livestock. Number 10. Castor bean. The castor bean plant has a strange double life. On one hand, it's used to make castor oil, something that shows up in everything from soaps and paints to brake fluid. On the other hand, it produces one of the deadliest toxins known to man: rice. Native to the Mediterranean, Eastern Africa, and India, this plant is now found all over the world. The seeds are shiny, oval, and harmless looking. But chew just a few of them, and you're in serious trouble. Ricin disrupts how your cells produce proteins, which basically shuts your body down from the inside out. Within hours, symptoms like searing throat pain, vomiting, and extreme dehydration kick in. Then comes the drop in blood pressure, organ failure, and death. There's no reliable cure, and while medical help can sometimes save you, it's not guaranteed. Most cases happen when kids unknowingly chew the seeds. Castor beans might be useful industrially, but in raw form, they're a chemical time bomb, and definitely not something you want growing in your backyard. Number 9. Yew tree. The yew tree is one of those plants that hides its danger well. With its dark green needles and bright red berries, it almost looks festive. But this slow-growing evergreen, native to Europe, Asia, and parts of North Africa, is one of the most toxic trees in the world. Almost every part of the tree is poisonous, except for the red, fleshy part of the berry. The real threat comes from the seeds and leaves, which are packed with toxin alkaloids. These compounds attack the heart, leading to dizziness, muscle tremors, difficulty breathing, and cardiac arrest. It doesn't take much, just a few seeds, chewed or broken open, can be fatal. The symptoms often hit fast and are easy to miss until it's too late. It's not uncommon for domestic animals to die after eating yew clippings, and even wild animals aren't safe. There's no obvious warning, no bitter taste or burning sensation, which makes it even more dangerous. The best advice: leave the yew tree alone. It's not the kind of evergreen you want to mess with. Number 8. Brugmansia. It's called an angel's trumpet, but there's nothing heavenly about what this plant can do to you. Brugmansia comes from South America and looks like it belongs in a dreamy backyard. Long, hanging flowers in soft shades of pink, yellow, and orange. But behind that beauty, full-on chemical warfare. Every part of this plant is toxic, especially the seeds and leaves. It pumps out powerful alkaloids like scopolamine and hyoscyamin, compounds that mess with your nerves, distort your vision, paralyze muscles, and in high enough doses, shut you down completely. It doesn't take much. A little nibble or even skin contact in the wrong conditions can lead to tremors, hallucinations, or worse. Brugmansia is actually extinct in the wild now, likely because the animals that used to spread its seeds died out, but humans still grow it as decoration. In some places like Florida, it's banned for good reason. If you spot one, sure, take a photo, but keep your hands and curiosity far, far away. Number 7. Giant hogweed. Giant hogweed sounds like something out of a fairy tale, and it looks just as dramatic, towering up to 18 feet tall with massive leaves and huge clusters of white flowers. But this plant is pure danger. Originally from Eurasia, it was brought elsewhere as an ornamental plant and quickly got out of hand. Its sap is phototoxic, which means it reacts with sunlight in a nasty way. Get even a little of it on your skin and you'll start to develop painful blisters that feel like a chemical burn. Worse still, the affected area can stay sensitive to sunlight for months or even years. Touching your face or eyes after exposure can cause blindness. In the US, it's officially classified as a noxious weed, and you're not allowed to transport or plant it. Giant hogweed might look like a botanical showstopper, but it's one of those plants you absolutely want to stay away from. See it? Don't touch it. Don't even get close. Nature doesn't mess around with this one. Number 6. Manchineel tree. It looks like it's offering you fruit straight off a postcard. Small green apples. Maybe a little sour, but harmless, right? Wrong. The manchineel tree is one of the most dangerous trees on the planet, and everything about it is a trap. Native to the coastal regions of the Americas, it's sometimes called the tree of death, and that's not dramatic. Its sap is so corrosive that even standing under it during rain can leave your skin blistered. The fruit, bite into it, and your throat might swell shut before you can scream. And don't even think about burning its wood. People have gone blind just from the smoke. Every part of this tree is laced with toxic compounds that cause violent reactions on contact. Some beaches paint red X's or warning stripes on the trunks just so clueless tourists don't accidentally picnic underneath one. Nature doesn't play fair with this one. If you ever see what looks like a wild apple tree by the coast, back away fast. This one doesn't forgive curiosity. Number 5. Oleander. Oleander might look like something you'd plant to brighten up your yard, but it's more dangerous than it lets on. Originally from the Mediterranean, it's now grown all over the world for its vibrant flowers. You'll spot it in parks, gardens, and even lining highways. It's tough and drought-resistant, and the clusters of white, pink, or red blooms are hard to ignore. But here's the catch. Every single part of this plant is toxic. The leaves, the sap, the flowers, even the smoke if it's burned. Oleander is loaded with cardiac glycosides, chemicals that mess with your heart's rhythm and can cause serious damage to your nervous and digestive systems. Just touching the sap can cause painful skin reactions or eye injuries. Eating it, even in small amounts, can lead to nausea, irregular heartbeat, seizures, and death. The good news, it tastes so bitter that most people spit it out before it gets lethal. But that's not a guarantee. Pets and kids don't always know better. This is one plant you never want on your dinner plate. Number 4. Water hemlock. Water hemlock isn't just another wild plant growing near rivers and wetlands. It's one of the deadliest plants in North America and Europe. It looks good, even pretty, with umbrella-shaped clusters of small white or green flowers. But it's hiding a serious threat. The problem is it closely resembles other edible plants like wild carrots or parsley. One wrong ID in the wild, and you're in serious trouble. Water hemlock contains toxin, a brutal neurotoxin that hits fast and hard. Within an hour of ingesting it, symptoms like violent vomiting, searing stomach cramps, tremors, and seizures can take over. In some cases, it leads to respiratory failure and death. The roots are especially dangerous. They contain the highest concentration of toxin, and unfortunately, they're the part most often mistaken for something edible. There's no specific antidote, so treatment is all about aggressive support, stabilizing the body, managing seizures, and hoping the system can flush it out. If you're foraging in the wild, water hemlock is a plant you do not want to gamble with. Number 3. Rosary pea. This one's pretty enough to wear as jewelry, and that's exactly the problem. The rosary pea is a climbing plant native to Asia and Australia, but thanks to its invasive streak, it's now creeping across tropical regions worldwide. Its seeds are hard, glossy, and bright red with a black dot, eye-catching enough to be strung into necklaces, bracelets, and even instruments. But inside those tiny beads, one of the deadliest natural toxins known to science. It's called abrin, and it makes ricin look like a joke. Just one chewed or cracked seed is enough to kill a healthy adult. No exaggeration. The toxin shuts down your cells from the inside, stopping them from making the proteins your body needs to stay alive. Ingest it, breathe it in, or even get it into a scratch, and symptoms start fast. Vomiting, stomach pain, internal bleeding, organ failure, and then lights out. There's no antidote. If it gets in you, doctors can only try to keep your body going long enough to flush it out. So yeah, don't touch, don't wear, and definitely don't taste. Number 2, Jimson weed. Jimson weed is the plant version of a dare, tempting, dangerous, and absolutely not worth it. Native to Central America, it now grows in warm climates all over the globe, thriving like a weed in open fields and roadsides. Its large, trumpet-shaped flowers look delicate, ranging from cream to violet, but the entire plant is laced with tropane alkaloids, compounds that mess with your brain and body. Some people brew it into tea or smoke it in search of hallucinations or visions, but they often end up disoriented, dehydrated, and fighting for their lives. Just one misstep in dosage can lead to delirium, seizures, and coma. Every year, emergency rooms see cases of people who underestimated. Jimson weed isn't just toxic, it's unpredictable. The strength of its compounds varies from plant to plant, which means you never really know what you're getting. It might look like something from a dream, but it can easily drag you into a nightmare. Number 1, white snake root. White snake shoot doesn't look like a killer. It's a modest, fluffy-looking plant found in woodlands across eastern and central North America. But it has a dark history, one that even touched the Lincoln family. Every part of the plant contains a toxin called tremetol, which attacks the central nervous system. The scary part? You don't have to eat the plant directly to be poisoned. Cows that graze on it pass the toxin into their milk, and if you drink that contaminated milk, you can get what's known as milk sickness. Before milk was routinely processed, this condition killed many people, including Abraham Lincoln's mother. The symptoms are brutal: muscle tremors, nausea, vomiting, and death if not treated quickly. These days, milk is safe thanks to strict processing, but white snake root is still a hazard for livestock and foragers. It's one of those plants that hide in plain sight, quiet, common, and potentially lethal. If you see it, don't pick it, don't touch it, and definitely don't feed it to anything. If you've enjoyed this video, be sure to like, share, and subscribe. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you soon in the next one.